My young apprentice, I do not know.
Are you ready for this?
No.
You're in full palp mode.
I'm in full palp mode. You're right.
So for the listeners who are listening to this in their secret scene, Dave is slumped down in his desk chair. He has his Star Wars baseball cap on, but like his hood over it. And it's kind of this like purple plum color. And it like gathers out at the sides because it's like fleecy. And he looks like behind his microphone, he looks like Palpatine.
Do it.
And he has been quoting Palp for a solid 5 minutes now.
Just nonstop.
He did an entire furniture store commercial as Palpatine.
Oh, the furniture store commercial is going to go right here. I don't know what I'm doing with that shit, man. You want this, don't like you? If you got a throne room needs, we have it at Palpatine's Furniture. Come on down. Do you need a throne that spins? That's what we got.
Oh my god. Hello there. This is Elora, and I'm a prequel trilogy kid.
And this is Dave, and I'm an original trilogy kid. And I didn't bring up my outline, so I don't know what I'm about to say.
Well, you're listening to What Does Star Wars Mean to You? We talk to all kinds of fans of the franchise, from industry insiders to indie artists, from obsessive mythologists to mega collectors, all for one goal. We're taking the hate out of the debate, and we're focusing on one fan at a time to find out, what does Star Wars mean to you?
Plus, it's just fun to chat Star Wars.
It is. I stole your line.
You know what? I've got to say, I was so impressed. Impressive. I was so impressed with how you did that line, because I've done that line maybe for 20 episodes. I don't know, like how long, and I still struggle with it. And you
funny.
Knocked it out as if like
I am a theater kid. I mean, I used to do the, what was it? Sally collects seashells down by the seashore, like over and over and over and over and over again for fun,
he
right?
He slams his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts.
That's amazing. Why don't you read my line then? You steal me.
Okay. So welcome to our episode between episodes. This is where Elora and I deep dive into our favorite aspects of our guest interviews and discuss what's interesting in the world of Star Wars, beginning with...
What did Star Wars mean to John Mark Tolly?
Okay, so before we hear what John had to say about what Star Wars means to him, I just want to say one thing, which was I had dental work done on Thursday, and it was an hour long, and my jaw still hurts.
Yeah.
But near the end, like I had like this rubber thing in my mouth surrounding the tooth so that it like just isolated the tooth for the dentist, and I had one of those like bricks in my mouth to keep my jaw open, and the dentist was like, sometimes people fall asleep when they have this jaw thing in their mouth, so because they can just relax. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What, sociopaths?
Yeah, exactly. Who's like, what I want to fall asleep to is the tender sounds of a dental drill.
Maybe it was some gas, but like, no, not raw dogging it.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the things, but as she's finishing up, she goes, almost there. And I was like, stay on target. I really wanted to just be stay on target. And I knew I couldn't say it. And I knew if I made a sound, they'd be like, are you hurt? Are you feeling anything? So that's my Star Wars of the week. But
that's your Star Wars of the week. But also to say that, we're both a little punchy because of just life.
John Mark Tolly was a really delightful guest. He's the co-host of the podcast War of the Stars. And he had a really great thing about what Star Wars meant to him. Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
That is such a hard question to answer because
we're the meanest podcast.
I know you are. It means so much. I mean, it's funny because the last podcast we just did was how I was feeling like I was starting to feel like almost like I was losing my fandom. Like it was starting to kind of seep away, and that passion that I'd had for so long was just kind of like, And just recently, in the last couple of even week, it's just been almost reignited. I like it. It's something that I always know I can go back to, which is something I love. That there's so much. It's out there, especially with Disney Plus. There, that even if I go into a period where I, maybe I kind of fall out of love with it, or I kind of don't watch it for a while, I know it's always going to be there for me. That's to me what Star Wars is. It's something that I always know I can turn to, always know I can turn on and watch and get enjoyment from it and be a kid again. Yeah. That's what Star Wars means to me. It's being a kid.
I think that's what Star Wars means to a lot of people. Nostalgia and just that, like, being a kid. And I love how honest he was about that fact. I yes. feel like I don't say this to take away from anyone else that's given us their time and shared their Star Wars journey and had a much more like philosophical approach to this question, because I think that is very true for a lot of people, myself included. But I also love it when someone's just like, no, I just like it because I did and always have, and that's all it has to be. That's kind of a refreshing take too. I love it when someone can just be in their fandom and just be like, well, no, it's just because it's always been.
Yeah, I think that's what I liked about his expression of it. That I remember we talked about it. It's just home. It's just something there that catches you at the end of the day. And the way he states that is, I thought it was particularly succinct and it kind of beautifully said. And I say beautiful a lot, but
You are on pain meds. It's okay.
I'm on pain meds.
You have a pass this week.
Yes. But it says to me that he's kind of in touch with who he is, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
I think it's always a wonderful thing. You and I off mic have talked a lot about this today already, so for you this will be a repeat, but for those tuning in, I was going to say, it's no secret to anyone who's been listening for a while that in addition to Star Wars, my other big fandom is the lore of Taylor Swift, right? And so, like, I loved John's attitude about just the importance of fandom for everybody, because there was a big album release at the time we're recording this for my other great fandom. There's been a lot of, like, I think negative feedback, because there always is with any kind of art that's put out. It's so subjective, right?
Especially new art. Like, especially
new.
When it's just released and everyone's reacting to it within the first 24, 48 hours.
Because they want to be first and they want to be the loudest. And like oftentimes the negative is what gets the most engagement, right? So like they may not even feel that way, but they're putting it out into the world. And like I've actually been marinating a lot on what he said as I've kind of watched my other fandom like go into chaos this week over something that I've found a lot of joy in personally. That like he doesn't care if like the only thing that you like is the original trilogy. Like that's fine. Like that's your fandom as Star Wars. It's okay if like you don't find the prequels cheesy. That you just love them because you grew up with them, or or that you do. That's also fine. And I don't know. I just like, what is it that he said? We can't force people to like what they don't like or to not like what they do like. I don't know. I just was like, yeah, like, God, I feel like it's definitely not the first time we've discussed this on the show, but I like it when we're all reminded that, there is no wrong kind of Star Wars fan.
Yes. I also really liked the show, War of the Stars philosophy. And I believe he came up with it, of the idea of like, this isn't my Star Wars. This isn't just your Star Wars. This is our Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I feel like that provides inclusiveness without being cloying about it.
Yeah.
Because it invites dissenting opinions, but also an acceptance of those dissenting opinions. And that's a great thing. One of my standouts or memories from the interview was his call out of the Clone Wars movie as his guilty pleasure movie, which is funny because I never thought of the Clone Wars as a movie. Like when I think of the trilogies and then Solo and Rogue One,
Yeah.
I don't think of Clone Wars as part of that trilogy or part of the movies of Star Wars, but it is. It was a theatrical release. And I also think it's really fascinating. He's, he's an original trilogy kid, and Clone Wars is his guilty pleasure of Star Wars, which I think is a lot of fun.
I also loved his shout out to Kathleen Kennedy. I think she gets a lot of unnecessary hate in the kind of more peanut gallery, as I've now kind of coined them, fandom on Twitter specifically. And I loved what he said. He was like, she made my childhood. And I don't think, like, I think I knew that. But, like, I went back and I looked at her, like, whole, like, discography, right? And oh my freaking God. Like The Goonies, Hook, Jurassic Park, E.T., Indiana Jones, like to say nothing of her impact on Star Wars. Like, yeah, she made mine too.
Yes, yeah. She was integral in Steven Spielberg making Steven Spielberg movies.
Yes.
And I think that's an aspect that's overlooked a lot, that, everyone thinks, oh, it's just Spielberg. It's like, no, Spielberg, he's bringing a lot. Let's face it. He's bringing a ton. But there's a reason he's worked with Kathleen Kennedy all these years. Yeah. And it's because she creates the runway that Spielberg can take off from.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
This week, we decided to talk about the Star Wars hills we are willing to die on. Or which ones did you die on and now you're like, nah, not worth a fight. And I think,
I didn't answer that as much. I think I'm more on the former side of the question, but that's okay. I'm curious to see what you're bringing.
Yes. And I think this comes from our conversation with John about fandom and that idea that your fandom can be in a cycle, that you can still be a fan of something, but maybe not be too high on it at a particular moment. And you can...
Or that, like humans, we change and we grow and we fluctuate in our opinion.
Yes, 100% that.
Totally.
So we decided to talk about what are those things that is talked about on the internet a lot, or that we observe that could be a Star Wars hill worth dying for, or dying on, or could not be.
Yeah. What's your first hill to die on?
My first hill to die on, that I would die on, and it's funny because I feel like I did a lot of things that weren't specifically about the movies, but more around the movies. And my first one is facts don't make the fan. And what I mean by that is knowing all the trivia doesn't make you a bigger fan. Like the fact that the actor who played Yord from Acolyte and his Anakin blew up the Death Star, that was a big blunder. But he may or may not be less of a fan for that. And I don't think people should be chastised for that, only because as someone who opens his mouth a lot and says the wrong thing, like not the wrong thing in a
so you get the incorrect fact kind of thing.
Yes, I get that. Yeah. I say Yavin instead of Yavin.
Yes, yeah, I've noticed you do that sometimes. That's funny.
And a lot of times it's the idea of it, and you don't know what's going on. Like, we don't know what's going on in the actor's head when he's in an interview for a massive IP that he hopes is going to make him a star. I might mix up Anakin and Luke Skywalker. It could just be a fluff of nothing. But
also, like, these are people doing a job. Like, actors, like, they're not going to turn down work, especially right now in the industry. And, like, this concept that, like, oh, well, an actor shouldn't be maybe, like, hired for something unless they're a mega fan. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy thinking.
You look at Tony Gilroy, who just did Andor. One of his big things was like, I didn't want to know anything about Star Wars. I didn't want my writers to know anything about Star Wars. And so there is this kind of, like, when you start looking at it that way, there's this duality of, like, this is acceptable not to know about Star Wars. This is unacceptable to not know about Star Wars. And I just don't believe it. You could have all the facts wrong and still be a big fan, I think.
Yeah, no, that was one of my first notes too, because I strongly agree. Like, it's a form of isolation and bullying that I just don't f around with. Like, I don't like that attitude at all. My actual first one is I feel very strongly, especially after seeing the anniversary showing in theaters again. Revenge of the Sith is probably one of the most underrated Star Wars films.
Really?
In my opinion. I do.
How do you feel it's underrated? Because I feel like I don't think it's overrated. That's for sure.
Well, I think it just gets looped in with a lot of prequel trilogy criticism in a way that I think it actually stands out from. I think that it, as a film, especially seeing it in the theater again as a grown person in the world, I found it to be emotional. I found it to be smart. I thought it was hard-hitting. I think the cinematography is incredible. The performances that Ewan and Hayden put into the kind of like the just disintegration of family was so powerful and so well done. And you can just tell everybody in the movie and the way the movie was made, like, cared so much about what they were doing.
Yes.
And so when I say I think it's the most underrated Star Wars movie, I think it's because oftentimes everyone just shits on the prequels. And I think they kind of forget that, like, that's part of the prequels. Like, and it's a good movie.
What always amazes me about Revenge of the Sith, every time I see it, is how much the effects hold up. Like,
they're so good.
They're so good. I'm sure if you updated those effects to today's effects, you'd be like, oh my God, they're even better. But still, 2005, those are like banger effects.
They're great. I remember we were sitting in the theater together. We looked at each other and we were like, oh my God, like, I kind of forgot how emotional this is. And it's because it was so real. What else is on your list?
One on my list is there's been a lot of great music in Star Wars, but nothing has matched the John Williams scores yet.
Yeah. I actually agree with that.
And I don't know if there's more to say. Like, I don't even know if this is a hot take. This is just it feels like now that I say it out loud, I'm like, yeah, obviously.
It's hard to get lightning in a bottle twice. Not to say that it hasn't been good music, because it has.
No, that's
like some of the Andor stuff is fabulous.
Yeah, Andor stuff is fabulous. The Mandalorian stuff is fabulous. It all fits the property that it's with. I just feel like nothing has touched the John Williams scores yet.
That's fair. That's valid. Yeah. Some of that might be the nostalgia.
That 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I mean, we've had 30 or 40, like, Mandalorian came out in, 2019? And that's when we had our taste. Or Rogue One, maybe. In Solo, a Star Wars story, our first taste. And great soundtracks. Just not John Williams.
Just not John Williams.
What about you? What's next on your list?
Well, this is my last one on my list. I only brought 3 because it is our mini-sode. I could do probably a whole podcast series on this.
I know.
And this one's going to be my most confrontational one, I think, or combative. I don't know. I love The Last Jedi. I don't think it's a disaster. I think Luke's character actually makes a lot of sense. His delusioned kind of hermit portrayal is realistic and it's very powerful. I think the fallen hero and like story and redemption arc is, yes, a very common trope. And I think that there were a lot of people upset to see Luke kind of in that phase of life, in that headspace, like whatever, his character to go to that place. But I mean, if you consider everything in Luke's character's background and upbringing and loss and fear and family, like familial history and like everything that he had to kind of rise up against, it would make a lot of sense that at some point there would be a really dark night of the soul too, and he would have to find it again. And I don't know, I just like I think this idea that he would have been this like one very linear just hero at the top of his game for his entire story, like I feel like that actually would have also gotten criticism. I don't know if it could have won. I think it was a lose-lose situation for a lot of the fandom that was loud about it.
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah.
I agree. I also think it's very, very hard to tell a story where you want new characters to be carrying the bulk of the story and then bring Luke Skywalker in, because you kind of have to hobble him in some way in order just to get around the fact that it's Luke Skywalker. And I would say the same about Harrison Ford, or not Han Solo and Princess Leia. They're as soon as they're on the screen, it's about them.
Yeah. No, and the end to his hero's story being the kind of ultimate sacrifice for the rebellion, but also just the future of the Jedi.
Yes.
I loved it. I ate it up with a spoon. I don't know. Come at me.
What can I say?
What can I say? In that similar vein, because I'm talking Last Jedi, kind of my part B to that is that I know that the love story kind of between like Kylo / Ben and Rey gets a lot of hate. I think that the Force dyad story that's like kind of entangled in this like slightly romantic, well, it's not even slightly romantic, this very romantic kind of like will they, won't they kind of thing. I thought it was actually very deep and complex. I thought it represented far more than just like Rey seeing the good in people. I think it was also supposed to be representative of like the battle between where she comes from and has the potential to go. Very like almost in her blood, like quite literally, but then who she actually is, and ultimately it is Rey that breaks this kind of like prophecy that seems to be over the Skywalker family line, right? Like, Luke cracked it for sure, but I think Rey fully just smashes it, and in the end she takes Ben's name onward and into this kind of more light side of the Force, right? So like she corrects it. And so call me a sap. I thought it was beautiful.
I think that's very true. Okay, my third one, I don't know. I don't know if it's a hill or not, but I think it's time for Disney not to be so precious about this and just recast already. Just recast. It's okay. If you want to tell that story, recast. If you want to tell Luke Skywalker's story, recast. I think the reaction to Solo made them jumpy to recast, and but the reaction to Tarkin in Rogue One made them jumpy to do CGI. So they painted themselves into this corner of not being able to do anything, and it's been a huge storytelling barrier for them, where they're like, we want to tell like original trilogy era stories, but we can't seem to do it. Go ahead and recast and like damn the fans, quite frankly.
Yeah, tell the story. I mean, I was appalled by the Bail Organa like clap back when they had to recast in Andor. I was like, he was great.
Yes.
I didn't mind it. It didn't pull me out. I had one brief moment of, wait, what happened? And then I was like, oh, well, actor schedule. Okay.
Yeah,
here we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really I felt that way about Obi-Wan Kenobi when Ewan McGregor took over for the role, and I was like, that's not my Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, so do you want to play our game?
Let's do it.
While we were like working on the outline for this, I was like, what if you had a fight or flight for controversies? Like, is this a hill I'm willing to die on? So I'd fight for it. Or is this something that is not worth my time? I'd flight from it.
Okay.
And so I took 10 controversies and put them on pieces of paper and put them into a hat, and we'll like pull 3 or 4 one at a time.
I'm so nervous.
and we'll see what happens.
I have not read these. You put them at the very end of the outline, and I specifically did not prep them.
Okay, so the first one, ironic. This is funny. By the way, I think what the thumbnail to the episode should be this. Should be my Palpatine look.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
For sure.
So our first one, fight or flight. Are you going to fight or flight this? Did Palpatine's return in The Rise of Skywalker ruin Star Wars? Fight or flight? Fight or flight? Strike me down with all of your hate.
I'm probably gonna flight it because I don't know if I have the energy to fight it. But I'm also neutral, so I'm gonna flight it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair.
What would you?
I didn't realize this until I just read it, and sitting here in my Palpatine throne, I feel like I would fight it, and here's why.
Okay, go for it.
Worth it just to bring back Ian McDiarmid and see him in that role. Worth it. Just 100% worth it. Like, I love the Emperor when he's like his bitchy little self. And the way Ian McDiarmid portrays him is like campy, big, and evil.
Yes.
And like you see him enjoying every moment of being the Emperor.
Yes.
And not like being the character, but the Emperor just enjoys being himself. And it's because of Ian McDiarmid, and it's 100%, and therefore worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it.
I like it.
Yeah, so what? He came back.
I don't disagree. I won't fight your fight.
Way.
How about that? I
you
don't
won't
disagree
fight my
with
fight?
I won't fight the fight because I don't disagree.
You're not going to fight the fight? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the second one?
Yes. Hopefully something I can fight.
Okay. So the next one. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. Okay. I'll do this as Palpatine.
Oh my God.
Did Rey's adoption of the name Skywalker ruin Star Wars?
No. I fight it.
You fight it?
I fight it. No, I don't think it ruined anything. I think that was the whole point, right? Like, it was a love story. She took the name and she took it forward in a really positive way, and she honored Ben's redemption. The whole Skywalker line moved back to the light and out of the dark side. I don't see how that ruined anything.
Well, I would not flight your fight. But I think I would flight this one because ultimately I kind of don't think I care.
You're neutral. Yeah.
I'm neutral. I just okay, she took the name.
I didn't have a strong reaction in the theater. It wasn't until I got online where I was like, why is everyone so pissed? It was a love story.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know what it's kind of like. It's like letting a very small thing ruin something that could be fun. Okay, here we go. What is this? Number 3.
Okay.
Did Greedo shooting at the same time as Han ruin Star Wars?
He didn't shoot it. I'll fight that. He didn't shoot at the same time as Han. Han shot first.
So you're 100% of the camp that Han shoots first.
Because he does. I feel like have you seen Cardi B's deposition or on the jury or she's on trial for something. It went viral and she was like, I have eyes. Look, that's how I knew. And like that's how I feel right now. I'm like, I looked with my eyes. Like 100% shoots first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%
and he was supposed to. He's supposed to be a scoundrel.
Yes.
When we meet him.
Yes.
Like, I don't know why that's so contested. What about you? Would you fight it or flight it? Do you care?
Here's the thing. I think I feel like I do feel like Han shot first. I feel like it was more aggressive when Greedo didn't get a shot off at all. Like in the original cut of the film, he just gets cooked. And it's always did it ruin Star Wars? No, but it always bothered me that we tried to cram in this interaction within a scene that wasn't shot for that interaction.
Yes, that makes sense. That's valid.
Yeah, and so and also like Greedo misses from a foot away. Come on, Greedo, you're better than that.
Well, is he though? He didn't get it in.
It would be funny. Like the true special edition would be Greedo like just nails him in the head. They both die, and like Luke has to steal the Millennium Falcon to get to the Death Star. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, here we go. Did a bunch of Ewoks defeating the Empire with sticks ruin Star Wars?
I'll fight this.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I don't think it ruined anything. I think we did an episode on this maybe like last season or so, I think. Like
probably the one on the Ewoks.
I felt like, first off, they didn't single-handedly do it.
Correct.
They were helping. And it was supposed to symbolize that like small acts of insurrection can have a big impact. Like even if you're outgunned, it doesn't mean you shouldn't stand up and say, no, this is wrong. So no, I don't think it. I think it was actually the emphasis or the essence is what I meant of Star Wars.
Yes, I agree with that, and
yes,
I think it's it is a metaphor. It's not battle strategy.
Yes,
and so it's a story, And the story is exactly what you said. Small insurrections can have a big impact. I think that was beautifully said.
Thank you. I also love it when they hit that one stormtrooper with the tree trunk. Like,
yes.
I just I want those bears.
And, you know what? There's a sad moment where an Ewok dies. I mean, they don't make it comical, excessively comical. It's not a joke. This is a real battle. It's not a joke.
This is real for them. Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I'd fight that. Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. And
Encore.
Then, this is good. Did the special editions ruin Star Wars?
Oh, I'm in a flight. I don't think I have a strong opinion on that.
Yeah, I get it, because you're a prequel trilogy.
Yeah, I don't even know if
the special edition is what you know.
Yeah, I don't think I know of anything else. Tell me, what would be the fight for it? Like, devil's advocate.
I think there's a lot of little story things, like adding Jabba into Star Wars A New Hope, adding Jabba into that, it takes away from the danger Han is feeling, because he already face to face with him. It's a speed bump in this in the pacing of the movie, because now you have to stop down to have backstory that you didn't need.
Are you talking about when they're in that like flight center and Jabba's That's interesting. I've always thought that scene was odd. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It just stands out. I'm not a big fan of Boba Fett. Now, these are all fights for the special editions ruin Star Wars. I don't think so.
No, you're giving me the devil's advocate argument. Yeah.
And it minimizes Boba Fett's character, because now he's just like Jabba's like little
lackey.
So there's like little story edits that are bothersome. I actually think with Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, some of it's really great. I love the special effects cleanup. I like the taking out the blue screen lines, cleaning up like the snow speeder stuff. I just think anytime they added a scene, it just bumped me, because it's like knowing a song for 20 years and all of a sudden they change one little thing on the song, and every time you hear it, that's all you hear.
Yeah, there's like a new word.
Yes. But that's fight or flight. I think
fight or flight.
We should try that again sometime.
That was really fun. I liked that.
Yeah. Would you fight or flight? Fight or flight?
I would fight it.
Nice.
So who are we talking to next week?
So next week, we're talking to filmmaker Chris Mocht. He is a lifelong Star Wars fan. He made 2 Star Wars documentaries about Star Wars fandom, which are really interesting. They came out in, I had the dates wrong when we interviewed him, and now I can't, like 2007 and 2012, I think.
Yeah, and I think he's working on like a third. Yeah.
Yes. Really interesting guy, great POV on Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's looking forward to sharing that with everyone.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed Chris a lot. That'll be a fun one.
And if you want to get in on the conversation, you can do so at Star Wars Mean to You. That's Star Wars Mean, the number 2 and the letter U. And that's our handle across all social.
Yep.
And so until then, may the Force be with you.
And with you.
Come on down to Palpatine's Furniture Palace. We have nothing but thrones. You need a throne that can spin? We have spinning thrones. You need a throne that can hold a lightsaber on its arm? Our thrones do just that. And under any lighting conditions, our thrones keep you on the dark side of the Force. When you have a Palpatine throne, you have unlimited power! So come down, because our prices will make you happy if you do it.
Palpatine's Furniture Palace, located on Naboo at 1138 Alderaan Memorial Avenue, right next to Docking Bay 94.
Okay, wait, I'm saying I like 1,000 times. Okay, I'm trying to formulate my thought. We'll cut all that out.
No, that's staying in.
No. It's,
do it.
Sorry.